Okay, so hello everyone, I am Akash and welcome to this new video on the channel. And in this video I'm going to teach you the basics of Git and some basics command that you can use in Git so that you can do the version controlling things, which is what Git is made for in the first place. And so let's get started with this video. So first of all, you will need to download this software, that is this Git GUI and command line software. So you have to go to this URL. I'm going to give this URL in the description down below, so go ahead and download the version for whatever system you have, Mac, Windows or Linux. So I'm on Windows, so I'm going to go on the Windows one and it is going to start the download. So while it is getting downloaded, let's get on to with the Git and GitHub. So the difference is between the Git and GitHub, because a lot of the people get confused on the Git and GitHub and just think that they both are the same. So they are not. So Git versus GitHub, and let's go on to images. And so Git is a whole version controlling system, while GitHub is a web-based hosting service that they provide, that is based on the Git system. So it just provides a GUI on top of the Git, and while the Git originally is a command line based system for version controlling. So that is the whole thing here. So Git is whole a system into itself, but the GitHub is just a platform through which you can do the stuff that Git provides you for the version controlling and thing. So it makes things easier as it provides a graphical user interface instead of a command line, which is used for Git originally. So that is that. And if we talk about the creator of the GitHub, then that would be Linus Torvalds, who also created the Linux kernel, and this is the person who created Git originally. So he is the founder, author, whatever you want to call it. So he is the one who created this Git. And so that's it for this Git, and we have this software downloaded. So let's install this. So the installation process is pretty basic. Yes, I want the icon on the desktop, and I'm gonna leave everything else as it is. And Git, okay. And here you have to select the default text editor that you want for the Git, so that if you want to open any editor from the command line that they provide, then the default that you want will be open. So okay, I'm gonna select Sublime Text here, and then Git from this. Okay, I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna keep this as it is, and keep this as it is as well. And okay, so install. So this won't take much time, and I'll see you after this is installed. Okay, so as you can see, the installation is done, and I'm just going to launch this. Okay, so here is our Git command line, and the Git is installed with this. So if you want to check the version of the Git, then you have to write git --version, and this is the version here. So yeah, Git is successfully installed. So here I'm going to first of all create a folder. So I'm going to navigate to my desktop. Okay, now I'm going to create a directory with the name web, and Now let's navigate onto that directory. Okay, so now I'm going to create an index.html file and one CSS file. So touch index.html and style.css file. Okay, so we have these two files here in this directory, as you can see. So these are the two files that I'm going to be uploading onto my GitHub account. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all have to initialize the Git. So here you have to write Git, then init, and before running this command, make sure that you are in this directory or whichever directory that you have your all files in. So make sure that you are in that directory and run this. So it is going to create this directory .git. So if you open this folder, then as you can see here, there is no such directory shown here, as this directory is by default hidden as it starts with the dot. So to make these visible, you just have to go into the view and then just check this box that says hidden items, and this folder, as you can see, is now shown. So this is the Git folder, and now that we have created that, so next up what we are going to do is, the next command is git status. Okay, so as you can see here, with this git status, you can see the status for all your files. So here these files are not yet being tracked, so we have to get them into one area that is known as staging area, where it means that the files are ready to be committed. So to get these files to be in the staging area, we have to write this git add command, the git add, and then the name of the file, that is index.html, and I'm gonna run this, and let's write the git status. And as you can see here, this is now in the staging area. So this file is now being tracked and this isn't. So if I want to take this file into the staging area as well, then I have to run this command again with the name of style.css. and okay, so now these both files are now in the staging area, and if we want to remove any file from this area, then you have to run this command, that is git rm -- cached, and then the name of the file. So let's write style.css, and this file is now removed from the staging area. So this is how you can do that. Here, as you can see, we just have these two files, so adding and removing these files is pretty easy with this single command, that is the git add, and then you have to write the name of the file. But what if you have 10 or 20 different files? So you will need to write this git add command 20 times. So that is not a great way, and it will use a lot of your time. So instead of that, what you can do is you can write git add and just put a dot there, and it is going to add all the files that are there in the directory. So if we see the status now, then as you can see here, both of our files are added into the staging area. So this is how you can do that. And same as well for the remove one. So if you want to remove all the files at once with a single command, then you can do that by writing, and you have to write -r and then put a dot, and it is going to remove all of those files from the staging area. And if you see the status, then as you can see here, all these files are here. So now let's add just one file, that is the index.html. Okay, so it is added. So let's see the status. Okay, so this is added. So now let's open this in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, and okay, so this is our index.html file. Now let's write some boilerplates, and let's write h1 hello world, and let's save this. Okay, so this file is now changed. So now I'm going to see the status again. So as you can see here, it says that the changes are there being occurred on this index.html file, and the changes are not being staged yet. So we just have to run this command again, and let's see the status, and there they are. The changes are now there being in the staging area. So this is how the Git tracks all the changes that you do onto your files. And so now let's add the other one as well. So I'm going to just write a dot here, and okay, so all the files are now in the staging area. So the next thing that comes up is the way you can commit your changes. So now that we have all the files in the staging area, so you can commit these changes using the command that is git commit, and then you have to give the name of the file that you want to commit, that is index.html, and just press enter. And as you can see, it is going to open up the default text editor. So here what we have to write here is we have to write a comment, as we haven't specified any comment here. So I'm going to show that in a minute as well, but for now we have to write a comment here. So I'm going to write a comment here, that is changed index.html file, and I'm gonna save this. And okay, so as you can see here, that the changes all that we have done in this file are now committed. And so now let's do some changes in our style.css file as well. So I'm gonna write, let's say, body, and in that I'm gonna write margin as 0, and I'm gonna save this. And now let's see the status. So as you can see, it is showing that we have modified this file. So let's add this. So git add and dot, and now let's commit it. And we have done the commit using the text editor way. So we have to write the comment in the text editor, but if you don't want to do that, then you can just write the comment here. So to write the comment here itself, then you can do that using this -m, and then you have to write the double inverted commas, and between these commas you can write the comment message that you want. So I'm gonna write changed style.css file and enter, and the commit is successfully done. So now that you know all the committing and stuff, So now what I'm going to show you is branching. So as you can see here, this master, so this is a branch, and in Git branching is very important, mostly when you are working in a team. So you don't usually work on a master branch because it is the main branch. So if you want to add any functionality, then you create a different branch and make all the functionality or whatever the changes that you want in that branch, and then you go ahead and merge that changes and the functionalities that you added onto the main branch. So this is very important in Git. So let me explain you the branching with a simple diagram. So here, let's say that this is a main branch, that is our master branch. So this is the main branch, the master branch, and then now I have to add one functionality, so that I have created another branch from this master branch, and I, let's say, give this branch any name, such as let's say A, just for example. So this new branch that I created is now with the name of A, which is a copy of this main branch, you can say that. So all the functionalities that I want to add, that I'm going to do on this branch, and it is not going to affect this main branch until I merge my changes onto this main branch. So I'm gonna add whatever the functionalities that I want, and then after adding all the functionalities, I'm just going to merge this one with the main branch. Now the main branch has all the functionalities that I added. So this, you can say that this main branch was the version 1.0. I created 1.1. so after adding this functionality, this is going to be called as 1.1 version. So I added some functionalities and all. So this is the new version of the software. And likewise, I created one branch. Any other person in the team can create another branch called as B, and they can add their own functionalities there. And after they have added their own functionalities and they have made all the changes that they want, then they are going to go ahead and merge it, and that is going to be 1.2 or whatever the version you want to set there. So this is how the versioning is done. So this is the main thing, you can say the feature that the Git provides. So this is the branching, and now let's see the branching live and how we can do that in our command line. So I'm going to just close this, and so here now, as you can see here, we are in the main branch, and if I just write git status, then, and as you can see here that it says you are on the main master branch. So right now we are in the master branch. Now we have to create another branch. So you can create a branch using the command that is the git branch, and then you have to write the name of the branch that you want. So I want web, so this branch is going to be web. So as you can see here, I have created this branch, but we are not in that branch right now, and you can see we are still in our master branch. So we have just created this branch, we haven't switched to this branch. So to switch to this branch, you have to write git and then check out, and then the name of the branch that we created, that is web. And as you can see here, now it says web, and if we go ahead and see the status, then it says we are on the branch web. So now that we are on a new branch that is different from the master branch, So now in this branch, while being on this branch, we are going to make some changes. So let's change this style.css file. So I'm going to write the padding as 0, and let's set the font family as this one, and let's save it, and let's see the status. So as you can see here, we have done the modification and it has got all the modifications that we have done. Now let's create another file while being into this directory. So I'm going to create one file using this touch command, and I'm going to name this main.js. okay, so I've created another file as you can see here, and let's open our directory. I have this new main.js file created. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just save this, and I'm going to write some changes here as well. So let's write var, and let's say a is equal to 0, just some variable. And if we see here the status, then as you can see we have this main.js here, but it is as not being tracked, so it hasn't tracked any changes. So let's add this and this, and let's commit these changes. So I'm going to write git add dot, and I'm going to commit this. So git commit, and yeah, I have to write the comment. So I'm going to write, okay, let's save it, and the commit is successfully done. Let's see the status, and we don't have anything pending here. Okay, so as we have done all the committing and all, so now what we are going to do is, now I'm going to show you one thing here. So we have done all the changes and committed within this branch, that is the web branch. Now I'm going to go back to the master branch. So I'm going to write git check out, and I'm going to write master. And now just watch these files and this file as I enter this. So as you can see here, the main.js file and the changes that we made here and here are deleted. So as you can see here, it says the changes are deleted. So the changes that we made here and the file that we created are not showing here anymore as we went on to this master branch. So this is because the files that we created and the changes we made were on the other branch, that is the web branch. So as you can see here, these two branches are two different things and two different versions of our software. So the changes that we made in one branch is nowhere being applied onto the main master branch or any other branch. So the changes that we make in one branch stay in that branch till we merge it. So now what we are going to do is we are going to merge the changes that we made into our web branch. So now we have committed all the changes on our web branch. So to merge the changes that we made, we are going to write this command, that is git merge, and we are going to write the branch name, so that is web. And now let's enter it. So as you can see here, the main.js file and the changes we made here and here are back on our main master branch. So we are still in our master branch and we are able to see the changes. So the changes are now being merged onto our main master branch. So now that all the changes are there on the master branch, so now we can push this onto our Git repository. So now first of all I have to create one repository in my GitHub account. So now here is my GitHub account. So I'm going to create a new repository and I'm going to give this a name as sample repository. Okay, so I'm going to leave this description as it is and everything else as it is. So I'm going to create it. Okay, so now I have created a new repository, and now here you can see all the commands. So we went through this and we've added all the files also, and we have run this commit command also, and now we have to push all the files onto this remote repository. So for that we have to run this command. So first of all, before that I'm going to run this command, that is the Git Remote. So what this command does is it is going to show all the remote repositories that you have here connected. So we don't have any remote repositories here right now, so I'm going to just copy this and paste it here. Okay, so I'm going to run this and okay, and paste it here. Okay, so now that this remote repository is being added, now I'm going to run Git Remote, and as you can see here, this origin is showing here, that is this one. So this origin is you can say an alias for this repository. So now what we are going to do is we are going to run this push command to push all the files from this master branch onto our repository. So that is git push -u origin, that is this one, and master, that is this master branch that we are going to push onto our repository. So let's run this, and okay, so it is doing all its work and all the files are pushed here. And if we refresh, and so as you can see, we have successfully pushed all the files here on this repository. And if you want to clone any repository, then you can do that using git clone command. So what you have to do is you have to just copy the URL for any repository, and then you have to write git clone and then just paste the URL here and enter, and it is going to clone all the files and it is going to just paste it in here. So here are all the files from this repository, as you can see. So this is how you can do the cloning of any repository if you want. So it is just making a copy of that repository onto your local machine. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then click on that thumbs up button, and if you want to see more of these videos, then click on that red subscribe button down below, and all the links that are there in this video I'll give in the description down below, so go ahead and check them out as well. And that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.